giving an impact, an exaggerated impact in terms of these approaches by the authorities. And some of these homeless people are being victims of the application of this penal law of the enemy. It's a typical example, for example, acting in situations where health problems have emerged, and sanitation, social services come in, local police, and the foreign or the border police, depending on the basis of the administrative structure of the people, not their needs. Unfortunately, that's the way the measures are defined. Sometimes they're expelled individually or collectively. So, this philosophy of exceptionality, and this has impregnated the work of the social services, the health services, and also the housing services. In many cases, penalties are given on the basis of the status of the person or other criteria. For example, the access to certain social resources. In a specific case of homeless people, we can find ourselves in a situation in which we can deny access to a shelter because they don't have the right contacts locally, which is happening in Holland. And I hope that our colleague from Holland will explain later, Mr. Sprakel. And then we penalise access to affordable housings because they've got a record of debts or they haven't paid their rent on time. So these are measures to penalise people. There are administrative obstacles that make it more difficult for people to access the right to decent housing. Now this forces us to analyse, if we would really want to understand the situation in penal terms, we also need to look at social policy, because at the end of the day, penal and social policies, as Bakwan says, are basically two sides of the same coin, i.e. management of poverty. To conclude, from what I've explained, we can say that the concept of penalisation that we have used in this report is based on Bakwan's concept and was used by the United Nations, by the rapporteur on human rights and extreme poverty, which analyses penalisation as a series of laws, administrative measures and political measures that punish, control and segregate people who are in a situation of poverty. And this can be done directly